Hi Gene, this is Rob. This is a reply video to your original post about your jazz bass guitar kit that you finished. And I had told you in the video that I had a Telecaster project I was getting ready to start here. I ordered the body last February. As of this video, today is August 6th. So I got the color on, got the base coat, the clear coat is on. The only thing I haven't done so far is do the buffing and the sanding because I applied the finish on the 4th and I'm giving it a full week to cure because I'm going to do wet sanding. The thing when you're doing wet sanding on a water-based finish, you really have to make sure that the finish is fully cured, not just dried, but fully cured. So I'm giving it a full week. We'll be doing the buffing and the sanding on the 11th, and as of this video, today is the 6th. So I apologize for the quality of the video. I'm out in my sunroom right now, and I would have made individual videos of the whole process. The problem is things have been really hectic around here. I'm in the middle of doing renovations around my house. I work for our county government, and our schedule has been crazy lately. So I apologize that I was not able to show you the spraying process and everything. But I'll go through real quickly what we got going on here. So the body's made of alder. Originally, and I'll have all the links for all the products in the description. So I started out, sanded the body with 220 grit to start, and then sanded with 400 grit to finish. And then I applied 2 coats of the Solarez. I can't believe it. It's not lacquer. I used the sprayable formula. They really recommend using a 1.4 millimeter nozzle. I used a 0.6. I got a mini detail spray gun from Harbor Freight. I was trying to use, one gun for everything. If I had to go back and do it all over again, I would have used the 1.4 millimeter nozzle to get a little bit of a thicker coat. But it's okay. It still worked out okay. Another thing that I would have done, possibly, I would have done a little bit better prep work on the body. I don't know if the video will pick it up, but I got a little bit of imperfection in the wood right there. It's smooth. It's just, I got some little minor stuff. Like I said, I don't even know what the video will even capture it. But I would have done a little bit better job of prep work. But this is going to be my personal guitar. I don't plan on selling this down the line. This is strictly for me. As I said, I haven't done the buffing and the sanding yet, but we will get there. But just to run through it real quick, I put 2 coats of the Solarez. I can't believe it's not lacquer. I used a 0.6. I really should have used a 1.4. I put 1 coat on. I let it rest in my garage for about 5 minutes. And then it's a UV curable product. So then after the first coat, I took it outside, turned the body multiple directions, and let the finish cure for about 3 minutes. Brought it back inside, let it rest for about another 5 minutes. I sanded the first coat with 400 grit, and then cleaned it. I used some Windex. It's a ammonia-free Windex. Kind of use that as a wax and grease remover. Put another coat on, let it rest for 5 minutes, took it back outside, let it cure for another 3 minutes, and I pretty much stopped there, brought it back in, sanded it with 400 grit, and then I put about 2 or 3 coats of the Autoborn Sealer Gray from Createx. As I said, that product link will be in the description. Let that dry for about possibly an hour, and then I start applying the Wicked Pearl Red number 303 from Createx. Now, when I did the Autoborn Sealer Gray, I had a 4-ounce bottle of it, and I was concerned that I wasn't going to have enough primer, enough sealer. So I actually had a little bit of leftover Autoborn Sealer Black. So what I did, I took the gray and I took the black, and the good thing about the Createx colors, regardless of the product line, they're all mixable. You can mix pretty much any of the products together. So I mixed the gray and the black, and it just darkened the gray a little bit. It was no big deal. So I went and did the color coat. I also used Createx 4011 reducer for not only the Autoborn sealer, but for the color as well. They usually recommend 10% by volume, but using the size millimeter nozzle that I was using, I reduced it a little more. As far as the viscosity goes, you kind of just want it to where it's like a nice even flow off the mixing stick. And I got that done, and then I let that dry overnight and came back the next day, and I started applying the Crystalac Bright Tone Instrument Finish. Now, when you go to apply that finish, you excuse me, you put your coat down, and you want to really, when I first started spraying it, I was spraying it at around 25 to 26 psi. Well, I found that it's the air pressure on that, it's a little bit too high, so you want to back it down to about 20 psi, which you might think that's not that big of a difference, but it actually makes a world of difference. And you want to do as light of a coat as possible. Now they do recommend on the can, on the container, that you let your coats dry 2 to 4 hours, and they want you to wait 4 hours between recoat times. So I applied the finish. I applied the first coat. The first coat came out okay. I went and I applied the second coat when I was still running at about 26 psi. Well, I wound up getting a run on the side and got to cut some drips around the edges. And I went to try to repair it, and I wound up kind of sanding through the color. Luckily, I did not sand through the primer, so thank the Lord on that one. So what I did, I scuffed the whole thing up with a automotive scuffing pad, the purple one from 3M. And then what I did was I put another 2 coats of color on it, and it seemed to repair the edge pretty good where I had that sand through. So I put two more coats of color on, and then I waited a day, let it all dry thoroughly, and then I came back the next day and I put on about 5 to 6 coats of the Crystalac Bright Tone. And that's where we're at right now. Like I said, I'm going to be wet sanding with 1500, 2000, and 2500 grit sandpaper. And then I bought some of those automotive polishing pads that you had bought that you could chuck on your drill. I got those off of Amazon. And then I'm going to give this until the 11th. As of this video, today is August the 6th. So I've got about 5 more days of cure time. And then we'll do the final sanding and polishing. And then, so we're about 2/3 done into the project. So as soon as I get all the buffing and the sanding done, like I said, I'm in my sunroom right now. So it's a little, I've had my fingers on it, so I got to clean it real good. I got a little bit of tiger striping over in this area, just a little bit. It's not bad, but it's no big deal. This is not going to be my own personal guitar, but honestly, after watching your video, I was so inspired, because I kept putting off this project for like months. Then again, we were dealing with a lot of cold temperatures up here in Northwest Indiana, so I didn't start it till till about the end of July, beginning of August. But like I said, I was so pleased with the way everything came out. I did this same kind of a project 6 years ago, and it turned into an absolute total disaster. But I took my time with it. Like I said, it's got some imperfections in it. But I think when I go to do the final sanding and polishing, it's going to look great. You can't tell in the video, but it does it is a pearl. It has a pearlized effect. I'll try to take it out here in the sun at the end of the video and show you what we got going on. Let me break away here for just a second and open my door here. But all in all, I mean, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. Like I said, we still have to do the final sand and polish, but let me grab it here real quick. And like I said, I don't know if this is going to show up in the video or not, but I'll try to take it out in the sun here. But yeah, that's the finish. That's the base coat. And like I said, I have to do the final sand and buffing. But I'm like I said, I don't know if you can tell, but I got a few drips around the edges. And I got to clean it thoroughly. But I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. I really, the next project I want to do, honestly, I'm probably going to do a Stratocaster project next. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. You were a big inspiration for me to stop procrastinating on the project. And like I said, I'll have all the links to all the products I use in the description. One thing before I do go, what would I have done different? Number one, I think the Solarez, I can't believe it's not lacquer. I think from now on, I'm going to use that strictly as a clear coat. And that's what it originally was designed for. The only reason I'm saying that is I kind of was under the misconception that maybe, you know, coating the wood first with the Solarez and then putting the Autoborn sealer over the top of it, I thought maybe it would hide some of the imperfections. It did mostly, but like I said, I have that one spot on the edge there. And like I said, this is going to be my personal guitar, so it's no big deal. But I would have used, when I went to do the Solarez, I would have used a 1.4 millimeter instead of the 0.6. Lighter coats with the Crystalac. The base coat and the primer came out great. But the clear coat, you definitely want to use. Run it at about 20 psi. You could probably even go maybe about 18. And you want to go as light a coats as possible and let it fully dry for the 4 hours before you go to recoat. The product is amazing though. I mean, it levels out beautifully. I mean, there is hardly, and I know you probably can't tell in the video, but it levels out, and the orange peel, I mean, I'm getting a good reflection just waving my hand over it right now, and I haven't even done the buff and the sand yet. The sanding and the buffing yet. So when I get the sanding and the buffing done and I try to get it to like a mirror-like shine, I'll send you another reply video. But I just wanted to thank you, Gene. You know, just really appreciate you being that inspiration to all of us hobbyists here on YouTube. And I mean, you're one of those guys that proves that you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a quality finish. I think everything all together, spray gun and everything else together, I probably have about maybe $60 invested in it, which really isn't all that bad. I mean, the gun was about 15 to 20. I got about 6 ounces of paint. Oh, one thing I forgot to say also, 4050, Createx 4050 gloss clear. Use that as an inner coat with your color. It flowed out of the gun beautifully, and I'll have that in the product description, in the link also. But like I said, I just wanted to thank you, Gene. Thank you so much. And when we're finally done with the project here with the final sand and buff, I will send you another reply video. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.